Welcome everyone to Rotary After Hours, our second annual Shark Tank meeting, third annual Shark Tank meeting. We're so happy that you could all join us tonight for this exciting meeting. So we'll jump right in here. And before we do the pledge, for anyone who's unaware, my name is Brandon Harris. If you're a guest or visitor, our president is online, Josh Mancy. So I'm just filling here. I'm just a puppet. So,
And former president.
And former past president.
Past president.
All right. So if everyone would please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And for the sake of those online, we will be recording this meeting. For logistics sakes, we have an owl camera up here, so it works best if you're a speaker to stand up in this area here so that it can pick you up. If you have an announcement, we ask that you come to the front to make that announcement. So first off, we'd like to welcome our guests and visitors. And we've got Phil here to welcome you.
Hi, good evening. Welcome any guests that are here. First, we have Chris.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris. I'm a senior at UWL, and I'm a boyfriend of Sierra here. So thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
what is your favorite sea creature?
Sea urchin.
Tricky
A
fellow.
little bit of pressure.
And next we have Tom.
That's me. I'm Tom Berkadal. My daughter is Katie Berkadal. Some of you may know her. Been living in La Crosse for, I don't know my whole background. But anyway, I'm an active Rotarian. I've been in Rotary since 1986. Most of it with the Downtown Club, then in Appleton for part of the time, now back to the Downtown Club.
Oh, thank you. And Bud.
But Hamas, some of you may know me because Joe is my son and was in this club until he took a job up in Winona. I thought he might be coming, but I haven't seen him, so I'll be making an announcement.
And we have Nicole. And we have Pam
Yep, Culver.
and Doctor.
And we have Dr. Rufus here. We're with Grace Spaces for the K9 assisted training skill building. Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us this special evening.
Thanks, Phil. Next up. We'd also like to welcome those who are joining us online. Do we have any guests online? Who's with us on?
We have Laura, Brad, and Brian and Mandy.
All right, you're welcome to all of you. Again, for announcements, please come to the front. Got that himself. So for announcements, we have a special request for to ease the burden a bit from Marissa, who has been helping us out with getting set up and takedown, mostly by herself. She runs around and gets all these things set up and tries to pull people in to help as she can. But we would really appreciate it if anyone's available to show somewhat early and help out with the setup of that. We'll talk more about the process of that at the end of the meeting. And also it helps, we've got to take all this stuff down and get the space back to how it's supposed to be. So sticking around a few minutes afterwards is also very helpful. It can help us take down. We are looking for youth exchange host families, and I wonder if there's someone who might be able to give us an update on where we are with youth exchange.
So we as has been said, we know who our student is, a female from Japan. We have our first host family, so she is going to be attending Central. We have a potential second host family, but that's not confirmed. So we are looking for maybe one, maybe two more families to host our female from Japan.
We,
About 3 months.
Say that again?
About 3 months.
so when we, to expand on that, we have a host student comes for the entire school year. And they go between 3 different host families. We've got some other fellow host families in our club. We can also have host families from outside of our club. So if you know anybody who's interested in hosting, whether they're a member or just part of the community, and they can get the student to Central, you said. So if they're in the lacrosse area, and get them to school and back, let us know. We've got a few spots to fill with that. Also, we've got Ryla coming up. That'll be May 21st, and they're looking for students and Rotarians. Did you say Laura's online?
Laura, do you want to address anything with Ryla?
Yep, I'm online. It's only a 1-day event this year. Can everyone hear me, Lisa?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It's only a 1-day event this year. Technically, the application process has closed for students and for Rotarians. However, if somebody is really, really interested or would like to participate, please just let me know and I can get you connected with Ben and Michelle. Or if you have any students that are interested or know of any students that might be interested in attending, the La Crosse area registrations were lower than normal for this year. So they still have room for additional students, being that it's just a 1-day event and we don't have to worry about space for sleeping or anything like that. So just let me know.
And Ryla is Rotary Youth Leadership Award, so it's high school students attending a camp to try and learn different leadership skills that will better them.
Yeah, it's a really great program. Normally it's 2 days, and you see them transform immensely through those couple of days. I've been a Rotarian at that event for a few years. It's always a great time. The students come in very shy and awkward, and by Sunday they have met new best friends and have really built their confidence and learned a lot, had a great time. So it's just awesome to be part of that. And previously it was a couple of days, so you had to give up a weekend, but with it just being 1 day, I would highly recommend anybody who's interested giving up a day to see some of these kids and what the future is. So if you're interested, contact Laura. Service, we've got highway cleanup coming up on May the 4th. Be with you. Do we have anyone from service? Okay, perfect. Come on up.
Long list of other events. So actually this week on April 28th, Thursday, we have the Hickson Forest event. So we'll meet at Upper Hickson by the weather tower. John will give us a quick overview of the work that we've done, and then we'll get working. I don't know what we'll do this time. Last time it involved chainsaws, so we'll see. Then yes, May 4th, highway cleanup, our usual spot at Fox Hollow, and then we'll have a social afterwards. May 7th, if you want to help out at the La Crosse Marathon, I'm told by our very own James Murray that we'd like some volunteers at the finish line. And I know a few of us will be running, so we'd love to see some of you guys cheering for us. May 14th and 15th, Grow Lacrosse is having a plant sale. So last year we did some service events where we earned money for our club, and some of that money went to Grow Lacrosse. And they'd like some volunteers. We will be directing people into the sale, walking around the greenhouse during the event to offer additional help. If anyone needs help carrying their plants to the car. And then we might have a table set up with some fun kids activities. So we'd love to get some people there to show our support beyond just giving them money. So, and then we also, I haven't sent out an email about this yet, but Memorial Day flags is every year the Wednesday before Memorial Day, so that would be May 25th. Usually like less than an hour, Lisa. And Lisa would love our help because she doesn't want to do it herself. So let me know if you have any questions about any of those, but hope to see you at, one of these fun events.
Thank you, Caitlin. Lots of opportunities to get involved and do some community service, which is what Rotary is all about. So hope to see you out at some of those events. I think it's in the.
It's coming.
All right, so we also have a social coming up. We've got the Loggers game on July 14th. We have our social.
I actually have another one. Do I have to stand in the
You have
middle?
to come up to the front.
Okay, in the middle. All
Tell us
right.
about the Loggers.
Okay, Loggers is our 3rd annual Loggers night. We have our own little cabin. We're gonna be the one way out in the sun where the balls kind of flying at you. So that's where we're gonna be. It'll be a lot of fun. So there's only enough room for 40 people though this year because we don't have enough room for the 100th one. So we got kind of bumped. But it's usually a lot of fun. So we'll be good to have that. I'm gonna put this one on like today or tomorrow. May 19th, it's a Thursday, will be our social. It'll be at Pettibone, the one over the bridge across the water. So you bring your friends, family, kids, and stuff, drinks, and you want food, but hopefully it's nice weather. So that's the next one coming up. And I think Morgan and the rest of us were kind of talking about, Morgan, about the Top Shots rock the boat party will be in June. It'll be actually the first meeting, June 14th, which will have Josh here as well. So those will all be on Facebook.
Thanks, Steph. Good job. Good job not stepping over the board up here. Public image, we have t-shirts available for sign up over at the sign up desk.
Yeah, we've extended the deadline by 1 meeting date, so please put your order in as soon as possible, or you're gonna miss out on the opportunity to get one of those cheap Rotary, they're nice small. For $12, what you could pull $12 by anymore. So there's 2 options for colors, and Brianna has to sign up over at the secretary table.
You can always use more Rotary swag, right? So we can wear them at our socials and service events that we just went over and represent Rotary after hours. All right, we've also got special guests here, Tom and Bud. Come on up and figure it out.
Well, Tom and I are from the Downtown Rotary, and we're here to talk about a project that is going to be initiated or has been started and is in process. And this is to create a new scholarship for students who are members of the Boys and Girls Club graduating from high school and who will be attending UWL over Terre. This scholarship is being set up by myself and my deceased wife. We're going to fund this, but it's not just a financial thing. This is going to be a collaboration between the Boys and Girls Club. We're going to be nominating students from their membership who are graduating. Initially, the Downtown Rotary, which Tom's going to talk about in terms of the youth committee selecting these students, and the lacrosse or the Rotary Works Foundation, which is going to manage the money. So there's the funder, the Boys and Girls Club, Rotary Works, as well as Downtown Rotary. And we would at least want to talk with you about being involved in this project, because this isn't just about funding. So these students will get $10,000 a year for up to 4 years. And we hope to have, when it's all configured, 4 students being supported at any given time. But being successful at college isn't just about money. It's about having a network and support. And that's what I'm asking our Rotary clubs to do. So the downtown Rotary is stepping up and the youth committee is taking the lead, which Tom chairs. And our club is going to provide support for these students. That might mean attending meetings, asking them to talk about what's going on in their life at meetings and announcements, but also having mentors. And in our discussion is we said, well, maybe we should have some mentors who are a little bit younger. And after hours came to mind, so I'll let Tom talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's pretty much what I was going to say. And Bud is right. I mean, and thank you to Bud and Barb for this great gift for our community that's going to impact the lives of a lot of us. How many of you growing up, like at high school age, had someone in your life that really made a difference, that showed interest in you or encouraged you or mentored you? Anybody? So that's what we're here tonight for. We're looking for people that are willing to be that person in someone's life. We're not looking for a huge commitment on anyone's part. We're looking for maybe one or two mentors for each one of the students as it builds over the years. The mentor, the role of the mentor would be to kind of have open channel of communication with the young person, so that if they needed something or you needed to get a hold of them, you could be there for them when they need some help. Bring them to Rotary and invite them to your friends and help them form a network here. And we'll do the same with the downtown club. If they are looking for a job, like either in the evenings or on weekends or during the summer, maybe try if you can to connect them with someone in the club that might be able to help them find that job. Just kind of to be a big brother or uncle or something to that young person. And
Someone might want a job shadow.
job shadow.
They might be interested in a career, and there might be a Rotarian, not necessarily in any one club, but a Rotarian that could be identified that they could spend a day with and learn about what that work is like. So we're trying to give these kids a leg up because a lot of them are not just financially disadvantaged, but they have a network of people to support them like many of us have in our success. So it's something we'd like to think about, talk about. We're not asking for any discussion or commitment now, but just to know that this project is coming. We're hoping, even though it's a little bit late, to have someone start in fall. Maybe the other part that I became aware of is we think of a Boys and Girls Club as something in lacrosse, but I learned that they manage a club in Holman, they manage a club in West Salem. They have 5 clubs in lacrosse or 5 sites in lacrosse. They may be taking over the Sparta site. So this scholarship would be available to members of any of those clubs. And that's why Rotary works as the kind of financial channel, which represents all of our clubs. And the fact that any of our clubs could get involved in this kind of support system and mentoring.
So if you have any interest, we're not looking for names right now, but just tell Marissa or Josh or whoever, and they know where to get a hold of me. And then I'll reach out, we'll reach out as we get closer to the fall and we'll kind of determine what's going to be those mentors. So, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's awesome. Thanks for generosity. Thanks for the leadership, and thanks for investing in the community. I think that's going to make a huge impact, obviously, for those people individually, but it's also going to impact the whole community. So thank you very much. Everyone had to. Back to that one. So now on to our main event. We've got Shark Tank tonight, which is very exciting. We've got our pitching teams out in the scattered around in the audience here. And I think we've got some cool projects, and it's going to be a tough decision. And so I will hand it over to President Joshua Mancy to go over the rules of Shark Tank.
All right, good evening, everybody. So we're going to just run through some rules here and then we'll hand it back to Brandon. So just for a refresher for anybody who's new and wasn't here last time, Shark Tank, we work hard to raise money as a club. So what we're doing is we're getting pitches and we have members that are pitching projects and we're here to pitch to you tonight to see what we should support this coming year. So we want to make a big impact. So let's find our next project. Next slide, please. So previous projects, we did the Good Fight van, which you can see some pictures here just to show what we've done in the past. Next slide. So a couple rules. The project must be completed by May of 2023. So we have about a year to do it. But that is something that we, this can't stretch on for years and years and years. So we look for projects that do have kind of a detailed timeline to be finished in the next year. It must be sustainable, right? It can't be paying the operating costs, salaries and utilities and things like that of another organization. It has to comply with the various district grant criteria. So we've reviewed the 2 presentations tonight and we're feeling pretty good that they do comply. We must have a realistic, detailed budget. We can't just say, hey, I think it should be, this number because I like it, right? Like we need a detailed budget. It doesn't need to be down to the penny, but we need to kind of understand what the money is going to be spent on. And let's see, Rotarian involvement's also a key. We don't want to just write a check. We want something that we can partner with, that we can see the good work that they're doing, that we can be a part of more than just funding them. So we can continue to make an impact in other ways than just money. We can be boots on the ground, people of action like we are as Rotarians. Next slide, please. A couple questions I would suggest you ask as we see these presentations, right? Are there any risks to the project completion? Who are the members involved? And what are some activities that we as Rotarians can be involved in? We'll have time for question and answer after each presentation, a few minutes. There'll also be time at the end if you guys have specific questions for the projects after the meeting. We will be voting. We'll be sending out a SurveyMonkey link, but we'll look to you as the Sharks to ask questions to our presenters. Next slide, please. So if we're ready, it is Steph Klein.
So in addition to those grant rules, the logistics for tonight, each presenting team will have 10 minutes to give their presentation. I will give you, Lisa will give me a 2-minute warning and I will give you a 2-minute warning. So I'll be sitting here and I'll stand up at 2 minutes. And then when Lisa says your time is up, your time is up. So around 2 minutes, you probably want to start asking questions if you're not already asking questions. So we've got our shark host here, left shark escort, bringing up our first picture.
And it's delayed, so give it a second.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. Okay. Here we go. All right, I want you all to think about what you spend the most time in your day doing. Is it work? Is it social media on your phone? Is it with your children? Is it sitting on the couch watching TV? Is it cooking, or maybe it is sleep? I think most of you would say it's work because that's true. Here's a lovely graph with those who have children. But for me, a close second is sleep. Do you realize how important sleep is? The main health benefits can be relaxing and rejuvenating to your body, but that is just not all. Some of us don't get enough sleep. Some of us get too much. But sleep is very important. Here's a bed, a cozy, comfy bed. Many of you are probably ready for bed because you have children and you're old and tired and you enjoy sleep now. But what if you didn't have a bed? What if you slept on a couch, a chair, or the floor? What if you had no pillow to rest your head?
What if you had trouble sleeping because you're cold or you're in bed sharing your bed with your children? A bed may be just a bed, but it has way more meaning than we think. So now look at the flip side. What if your child didn't have a bed? They may be sleeping in blankets in a corner or on cushions that are sagging or in bed with their siblings. Did you know that in La Crosse area, there are many children who do not have a bed to sleep in? Did you know that this is a nationwide issue? I guess I never knew this was an issue until I took on this project. And so tonight, here's a nonprofit that I'm pitching for the Shark Tank, $10,000. It is the Sleep in Heavenly Peace, which is a nonprofit that is nationwide. I don't know if any of you have heard of this before. You? I never heard about it until 2 months ago. So Sleep in Heavenly Peace is a group of volunteers who are dedicated to finding and providing beds for children who actually do sleep on the floor. And they are building bunk beds or single beds free of charge. Each bed that is delivered costs around $250, and it includes the bed frame, the mattress, pillow, blanket, and twin sheets. This gift ensures that the deserving kid has a comfy place to lay their head at night. And by taking action and choosing this project with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, our club will experience the joy of making sure no kid sleeps on the floor in our town, which is also the motto of the nonprofit. Okay. All right, before we get into, these are just a few things that I took about how sleep can affect children, because especially with COVID, there's a lot of things that have been changing. Not only are more kids having anxiety and depression and behavioral issues and social issues, there's just a lot of kids that aren't getting quality sleep. So, overall, this is really important. And, if you don't sleep, are you going to do well in school? Are you going to be healthy? Just listen to, some of the struggles that kids have faced. So here's where it comes into play, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It started in 2012 by a couple in Idaho, Luke and Heidi Nicholson. He's actually a group leader, and he had found a bed in his garage. And he was like, I don't need this bed. My kids all have beds. Like, what can I do with it? So he put a Facebook post out, and the response was overwhelming. There were so many people that were like, what can I give? I have a pillow, I have a blanket, I have a comforter. How can I help? Or I have a bed. And that's kind of where it just took off. So then in like the 6 years after that, over 200 chapters are active and including three countries. The statistics of 3% of American children without beds. Like, there might be a low number, but if you think overall, and just even in this area, that's a lot of children that don't have a place to sleep. With the organization, they provide chapter training, and we're lucky to have two organizations here. We have one in Trumbull and in La Crosse County that both are active. Each chapter has a chapter president, and then a core team of volunteers for each chapter. That's where we come into play. We would be the volunteer group that would make the donation, but we're also hands-on with all the building aspects from start to finish. As I said before, it costs $250 to build the bed, and that's everything included. If things are donated or supplied, the cost can be lower, but that's on average. So far, it's built over 100,000 beds nationwide.
Fun,
Oh, it's horrible. Hold on. Okay. This is just a mission statement about Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It's just, kind of providing the physical, emotional, mental support by providing a bed. It is a 100% volunteer-driven and donation-driven nonprofit. There's no employees, there's no cost besides the donations that they receive. Everything is given back, and it's usually a pretty quick turnaround when you make a donation from start to finish. All right. Here is what we would be helping if this is the project chosen. So it started in 2019 in La Crosse County. The chapter president is Mike. He's actually a retired firefighter locally. He had seen, there's a CNN video of the founder who was on for CNN Heroes, and he was acknowledged. And that's kind of how it kind of took off. People kind of heard about it on a podcast and then realized like, oh, what can I do? How can I start a chapter? So Mike had seen it, and he just talked to his wife, and he's like, well, with my background, like I saw many children that didn't have a bed, that had, you know, dingy clothes, that lived in like filth. Like, I cannot do anything then, but what can I do now? So then he, you know, talked to his wife, talked to other people, and then the idea formed. Well, then, the first bed was delivered in 2019, and the 14 was the one that we completed it. They didn't have any donors or sponsors yet. And then COVID hit. So then it kind of just took a hiatus for almost a year and a half because everything was shut down. He said that, you know, they had to take an 8-month break, but then there was even longer as things lingered on. So in reality, this started in 2019, but it really hasn't got its full potential of going until the last probably 6 months. So far, 225 beds have been delivered for this area, which when I heard that amount, I thought, wow, that's a lot of kids. Like, I don't know anyone that needs a bed, but obviously there's a need here. So basic process, it's pretty simple. So if this would be chosen, it goes from the donations to the volunteers to form a group. That would be all of us. Me as the team lead, we're working with the chapter president and other Rotarians in our club. I would try to get at least 30 to 40 volunteers with, you know, us, with family, even other Rotarians, as many as possible. It just makes the build day go, you know, seamless. Then you select a day, and it takes about 2.5 hours to build about 20 beds. So with the $10,000, it would be around 40 beds, which would take probably about 5 to 6 hours of an afternoon. They try to make it really fun and just, you know, a sense of community and just kind of putting everyone together. And the application process we'll get into later will be determined. There's actually a running list of kids that need beds. They go from the highest of needs to the lowest, but at some point all children will get a bed. And then it's delivered within a timely amount. So from start to finish, isn't something that's going to take to 2023. This will be done this summer, and it could also continue every year. Okay. Right, cost donation. So like I said, it's $250 per bed, includes a wood frame mattress, pillow, comforter. As you can see, they also do bunk beds. That's up to what is being asked for. All the supplies and lumber can be donated directly. There's also a way to do online donations where it's really easy to like click. If say you want to donate a pillow, it's $5. If you want to donate a mattress, there's set amounts they can do monthly. It's just like a really easy website. Everything is very straightforward, so it's very organized, which I like. Volunteer group build days. There's been several organizations locally. Festival's done one, Ultra's done one. Some of the banks have done one. Youth groups, the Lions Club, Meg has done one. So we have in on that, but it's really taking off. Like the word is getting out more. Also, so with any risks that I would say, it's just like hoping that you have a nice sunny day because you want to do it outside. So I'm hoping to do this, sometime in the summer or fall, just so that we can be outside, get as many volunteers, and have a stockpile of beds that for the winter months, if anyone needs one, they're available. Oops, what happened? Okay. The volunteer build day, pretty self-explanatory. We just take the volunteers from here. We're all hands-on. This is a hands-on project. So we can, go with the process of cutting, sanding, drilling, putting together. You can use saws, drills, hammers. It's very hands-on. The core team helps with some of the process, but it's a project that we are getting our hands dirty and we're doing from start to finish to be able to make the beds. We're out of time. Oh, well, I think it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
It was 10 minutes.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I talk fast. All right, hold on. Process. Homes across America, another part, there could be more. This is what I'm asking for. It would be 40 beds, members, potential yearly build, getting other Rotarian clubs involved. We have lots of members in here that would help. And I guess you won't see my video. And I should have talked fast.
Sorry.
God, I thought I talked fast. All right, well, any more questions?
Thank you for that presentation. That seems really cool.
They have a running list, but that was kind of some sensitive thing, but we would be the ones actually delivering the bed to the family. There'd be a group of us that would go. But there was a list prior to COVID as well. So. Yeah, I won't say how much. Questions or no? I just said-
No, you don't. So,
All right, fine. All right.
next up, we've got our next pitching group, the leaders of that group. Come on up. Again, at 8 minutes, I'll stand up and you have 2 minutes left. If you ask a question.
For sure.
Pretty intense.
Hi, Sharks. My name is Marissa. I'm Sierra.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Nathan.
And I'm Caitlin.
I'm Spencer.
And we're here today seeking $5,000 of Rotary After Hours money and $5,000 of district grant money for 100% equity stake in our project, Quatarians of Action.
I also would like to introduce our friends from Brave Spaces, Nicole Millerin and Pam, also Dr. Love.
Did you know that in its 2021 Community Health Assessment, La Crosse County Health Department determined that behavioral health is top of mind for county residents? Mental health conditions are increasing worldwide. 1 in 5 adults are experiencing a mental illness, and that's nearly 50 million Americans. Devastatingly, suicide is the second leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the United States. And even though these are highly treatable, only 37% of those actually receive treatment.
Pet therapy uses trained animals to enhance a person's physical, emotional, and social well-being. The gentle, non-judgmental presence of a therapy animal who reduces anxiety and facilitates healing. Research shows that animal-assisted therapy lowers blood pressure, reduces the amount of medications some people need, slows breathing, lowers anxiety, helps people relax, provides comfort, and reduces loneliness. Many children with autism feel a deep bond with animals. They feel that they are able to relate better than humans and often are engaged in significantly greater use of language as well as social interaction when their therapy sessions incorporate animals compared to standard therapy sessions without them. Animals can provide an escape or happy distraction.
Local resources offer pet therapy programming in the community. The La Crosse the Cooley Region Humane Society has a pet therapy program called Ambassadors of Love. And this is a volunteer-based program that consists of family-owned pets going out into the community with their owners to comfort those in need. They offer services at hospitals, nursing homes, substance abuse recovery sites, group homes, schools, libraries, and more. They also have a Breed to Rover program, and this was designed to support a positive and safe learning environment for young readers, because what better listener can you get than a pet? And to cap it all, Cooley Region Humane Society is a nonprofit organization, and all of their pet therapy programs are free of charge.
Brave Spaces Counseling and Wellness also provides paid mental health support services to individuals of our community. They have introduced the canine therapy into their programming. Participants are provided with dog training techniques. These elements build the individual's person's skill set as well. This enhances their confidence and self-regulation, qualities that can be transferred to interpersonal relationships and person's life. Brave Spaces is a for-profit business, and these services are individually paid.
Some of us have struggled with our own mental health journeys throughout the years, and we are grateful to have had our four-legged friends to help us out in those especially difficult times. With the increasing mental health conditions brought on and exaggerated by the pandemic, we think that this is a perfect time for a project such as this. Help us bring joy and happiness to others through our Quatarians.
So our project consists of a few different components, and the one that I'm most excited about, actually I'm excited about all of them, is that we want to pay for any of you, any of our members to go through the Humane Society's pet therapy training program. If you think your dog, your cat, your bunny, your snake, whatever is a good pet therapist, we want to pay to have you go through that training and expand the Ambassadors of Love program. They have so many requests that they can't fill all of the demand that they're getting. And so that would be a perfect example. You would be the pet therapy team lead, and it worked much like Mobile Meals. You would get a request to go to a school for Read for Rover, or maybe go to a dorm at UWL for a distress event, or maybe walk in the Rotary Lights Parade. And we would go, if you had your pet, you would be the team lead, and we would have a few Rotarians go with you, so you weren't alone. It's a relatively low commitment. Each visit, for the sake of the dog or the cat or whatever animal you have, is only 1 to 2 hours. So it is a relatively low commitment. But what better way than have your own pet become an ambassador of love?
Money awarded will also help cover the cost of the bandanas that you can see on the therapy dog here today with the Rotary logo embroidered. We would also be getting volunteer shirts for not only our club, but also helping supply those for volunteers of the Ambassadors of Love program with our logo as well. And one of the Humane Society's biggest identified needs is growing this program after COVID. So they really took a hit from that. And this will, we're hoping that this project will also help them to bring awareness in the community of this program and also increase their volunteer base. So the final part of our project would be to do a PR campaign with a local professional PR company to help provide them to bring awareness.
And last but not least, we'd like to provide at least 5 scholarships for individuals who can't afford to pay for pet therapy services at Brave Spaces. Each individual session has 4 to 6 sessions at $100 a session. These individuals will be given a gift to help them, will be given the gift of having pet therapy to help them with well-being, strengthen relationships in their life, and a therapeutic healing fulfilling for many years to come. Brave Spaces will also let us know that they can ask their clients to sign a release of information, and a Rotarian could attend the first and last session to see how that service has helped the person that received their scholarship. Also, offered to do an event this summer with Brave Spaces to give the knowledge to the community about what their K9 assistant program is and help show the skills of the dogs.
And then you're able to see a total breakdown of what our expenses would be for this program. So it's split between doing the Ambassadors of Love program with the Coulee Region Humane Society, providing the volunteer items, the bandanas and the t-shirts, and then the marketing and PR, and then the scholarships for Brave Spaces.
As Rotarians, we serve to change lives, and we feel like this project does that because it aligns with 2 of Rotary International's areas of focus. Disease prevention and treatment with the mental health aspect, which is so often stigmatized or pushed down or ignored. And also the basic education and literacy area of focus with the Reading for Rover activities.
So what do you say, Rotarians of After Hours Club? Are you in or are you out? Any questions? Any questions? We have 2 minutes. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, my dogs have failed, so yes, there is. We do have already identified at least 4 or 5 members who would be interested in doing it, who think their pet would be a good therapy animal. And, you know, if they all fail, then internally, disciplinary actions, but hopefully we get at least 1 or 2, you know, that would pass and qualify. I know that we talked to them about having Doyle Packus go out, and they're open to that. There is a different training for the cats and the non-dogs, let's put it that way. The dog is a canine good citizen, program. It's one Thursday, I think every 8 weeks they do it. So it's just one evening to get that certification. And then if you had a cat or something else, the Aaron at Cougar Region Humane Society would be the one that would determine if it would be a good therapy animal.
Some of the criteria that she talked about for that as well is that, you know, if your animal doesn't want its tail pulled and it would be uncomfortable with having its paws touched, that might not be an animal that's suitable to do it. She also mentioned that there's a lot of different spaces in which you can do this therapy program. So maybe your animal isn't super great with kids, but they might do better in a nursing home setting. So like I have volunteered my cat as a potential member of this program, would not do good in a school, would not do well, but could absolutely do a nursing home. So there's a lot of room for whatever your animal is interested in. Or you're interested for your animal.
Thank you very much. Those are the projects that we have for all of you sharks out there. We can have our shark in residence come up for maybe we can get a quick photo op with both teams.
All of them and me.
Haven't you seen Shark Tank?
I didn't know there was supposed to be more people. They're just like, oh, you guys are working. Oh, no.
All right, give us your biggest shark smiles. 1, 2, 3.
Stay. Stay. Rufus, sit. Stay.
Everyone else sit. All right.
Took like 4.
Thanks, everybody, for pitching today. And keep in mind, hopefully that got some ideas going for the rest of you who didn't pitch today. We hope to continue doing this every year. So the sooner you start, the better off you are. I was hoping to do a project and waited too long and wasn't able to pitch today. So I think some other people probably fell into that category too. So the earlier you start, even just reaching out, finding the needs in the community, and getting something started so that when it comes time, like in the early spring, late winter, that you can start putting some stuff together and prepare a pitch. So next steps, are you in or are you out? We will be sending out an email soon with a voting link in it. And as was Josh mentioned, we'll be using Sharkbook. So I think, is that how we're doing it? Everyone gets 100. So you have 100 Sharkbooks that you can allocate to either project. So you can do 50-50 if you really can't decide, or 60-40. If you're all in on one project or the other, you can put your whole investment into one of the projects, and then we'll tally those up and see which one has the most Sharkbooks. So good luck to both of our pitching teams, and please go out and vote once you get that link. Thanks to everyone who was involved with getting things set up. Big thanks to Morgan, our shark in residence, for doing a great job of keeping things sharky. And thanks to Marissa. I imagine Marissa got all these shark decorations. Don't be too scared. They are very lifelike. But, thanks to Lisa for helping with the technology. And to everyone who joined us tonight to support these pitches. So thanks so much. And let's just give one more big round of applause. So our next meeting is May 10th. I believe it's here.
Do we know what it is?
Same place.
To be
same time?
determined. To be determined.
Okay, so
But we
it's
do
to be
have,
determined.
we can give a plug to May 30. Yeah.
May 24th.
Yes, May 24th, Brave Spaces is going to join us again to talk about Mental Health Awareness Month this May and talk about the services that they provide to people across the community and the mental health needs that they have.
June 14th was our last year meeting with Josh.
Oh, okay, June 14th. June 14th will be our last meeting and we'll have Joshua on site.
Of the Rotary year.
Well, yeah, hopefully it's not our last meeting. I mean, actually, you know, with Josh as president, I kind of predicted it, so that we would be.
Even I'm not good enough to completely destroy the club, Brandon.
The
So,
club
but I
will
appreciate
carry
it.
on after Josh. Awesome. So look forward to that meeting. And we'll have Josh here in person. So that'll be very fun and exciting. And so to round out the meeting, would you all join me in reciting the 5-way Rotary test? Of all the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun? Thanks, everybody, and have a good night.
Post meeting social at Bodega in like 15 minutes.
Did you guys online have anything?
Nope, I'm all good. So I'll log off. Have a good night.
I'm
Thank
all
you.
good as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Take care.